Welcome to season 2 of 10,000 Hours and Counting, the podcast that I've created to support us on the spiritual journey, to be like that cheerleader that you need to find the encouragement and dig within and realize that it's all so important. All these activities towards the light, towards self-understanding and awareness are so important, not just for us and our personal journey, but for the world. So today I am joined by my beautiful friend Karen, and she's across the globe in Canada. Well, I'm here in Australia. Hi, Karen.
Hello, nice to meet you. I know you, but whoever's listening, nice to meet you.
To our listeners, Karen and I have been online friends for a very long time, and it's just beautiful. I like to share the people that I know and like their heart and their wisdom in this space, because there's nothing as beautiful and empowering as sitting together with, your friends and being able to talk about these highfalutin concepts, but also applying them in your daily life and understanding that as humans having a soul, having a human experience, we are never alone. And when you find your tribe, you hold them, in your heart. So that's Karen for me. She's part of my soul tribe. So we're here today, and I wanted to talk to Karen a little bit. We don't know where we're going to go because season 2 is kind of no holds barred. Any energy is coming in. I was saying to Karen before, I'm tuning in for a theme as I did all last year, and I'm just getting a little bit of essence. We're going to talk about goddesses and radical self-love and self-acceptance, but I can't get much more than that. So we'll see where we go from here. But I wanted to speak to Karen about this. I just love and honor Karen as a teacher, as what she offers with her light in the world, and she has a beautiful connection, understanding of goddess energy. And so I thought we'd just begin. I guess, Karen, I just ask you, if I throw those topics at you of the goddesses, of what they mean to you, and also maybe bringing the body into this, of how does goddess energy help you connect with your body, or what does it mean to you as a concept?
Oh my gosh. I have found it has taken a lot of you know what, I want to start with the enlightened wisdom of the divine feminine. I find that to be profound, like, I don't know if it's like a rebirth or a signal, just through the body.
Mhm.
um I find I mean, it's taken me a really long time
Mhm.
to like sense and feel and understand the goddess, just through, that deep surrender. And I think through our own pain, what we move through, yeah, our body's like that healing temple. Our body is like that goddess wisdom, and just how we can create profound benefit even through what we're moving through in our own journey, through our own pain, through um our own hearts. I feel it's just so, I feel like the body wisdom is the, I don't know, it's the planet, like the planetary space too, right?
Yeah.
So maybe it's that acceptance of that or did you say radical
Yeah,
acceptance?
radical self-acceptance is what came into
Radical
my brain, right?
acceptance.
Permission to just accept it. Yeah.
Yeah, right. And I just feel like sometimes we're just those creative bombs of I don't know how else to explain it. I find it really hard to explain
Yeah.
sometimes. Like, the wisdom of the goddess is so, like, profound, and those shifts we move through, it is radical acceptance. Like, no matter what,
Yeah.
our body moves through, it's never shameful, you know
Yes.
and
Thank
it's
you.
never, oh, it's just that purification. And when we can really go into that, into our physical body. And I've been going through some physical stuff too, and like a lot of, just really tapping into that,
Mm.
and then
Yeah.
my ego self is like, what am I doing wrong?
Yes. That
Right?
that
Yeah,
And I want
it's
to
like,
also point out on what you're saying, we want people to know when we talk about the goddess
yeah,
and the body, we're talking about every human body, so not just women, because the goddess energy is that the blood, the bone, the sinew, it's kind of like into that. And I feel that they connect us to earth. So as humans, our bodies are connected to the earth. So her body, and spiritually, her body is connected to our spiritual body. So if you can just think of your body, which is all of those physical, all that physical matter and the denseness and all of the stuff, the organs. Think about how much is going on inside this one frame.
I
And
know.
we can understand that sometimes people can have trouble accepting and marrying like the spiritual energies with the body because
Yes.
of different either past life issues about it, or just what you were talking about. You mentioned pain a couple of times. The body is a
Mhm.
vehicle for pain, but that's part of the learning and lesson and beauty that we're asked to witness. And so
Mhm.
sometimes it's our own pain and it's aspects of self that we need to heal from other lives, but sometimes it's DNA, it's ancestral. Sometimes we're here to allow our body to experience and express painful
Mhm.
things that happened to our ancestors that they were not able to resolve. So, goddess energy to me is also about helping you, as you say, to resolve pain, to
Mhm.
find the beauty and the lesson within the pain and transform it into healing and
Yeah.
an integration of divine presence actually through physical perhaps or difficult human pain. There's something about that. So it's not masculine or feminine, it's the physical body and the light of spirit, and the goddesses help you to marry those two. That's how I've found it to be. They just come in and they assist.
Yeah, I feel like that's really how they just, she just moves us.
Yeah.
you know, and yeah,
It's
yeah.
interesting because the goddess energy, when you said you feel that it's mysterious, it's hard to describe, and I really think that's very true because it's almost a level of initiation or several levels of initiation when you journey with the
Mhm.
goddess energy. And so they require you to have a level of almost surrender in a way to the path, or it's deeply, it's not almost, it's deep surrender of the mystery where you're not allowed to know the all or the everything. You can't just think it with your mind. You have to feel and experience it in your heart, in your body, and you have to be willing to take the steps without knowing the why and the intellectualization of how it's going to be. And I think
Yeah.
there's something ancient about that. If you think about priestesses or initiates in the past, of just having such a deep devotion in their heart to the being of light or to the teacher, that they're willing to shift out of that focus of what it's going to be or how it's going to be and just be present in the moment to the path and to the experience of that goddess so that it becomes something personal between you and that energy.
Yes, yeah, yes. It's just, I think our body is enlightened wisdom. Like it really is. I don't know how, like, yeah. And that's why sometimes it is hard to explain it because it might be, it's just in, it is, I find it really hard to explain, but it is something, yeah, it's, it's the most gorgeous thing I think you could ever move through.
How do you find it when you have an instance with the body where you actually feel that you've been able to, as we said, like radical self-acceptance, and I said the heaviness of the body, like the spirit versus matter, or you've had an illness or something. How do you feel when you sort of give your body that compassion? Because it's like the body is on a different frequency in some ways to spirit, and we're asking that electrical energy of spirit. We bring it into our bodies all the time when we're doing spiritual work, when we are well, just our daily spiritual practice and life. But so we need to give the body the time to catch up with that. So have you had a journey? I have, where I realized my body is sort of saying, you slow down spirit energy and integrate it, because otherwise it's almost meaningless. It's like you're just getting blips of energy coming in and there's nothing is actually landing. And so the body says, okay, that's beautiful. I
Mhm.
need to have this rest and like this integration time now. And the impatience of spirit is like, but it's ready, it's now. But the body is the
Yeah,
teacher in that instance.
it is. Yeah. I've had that multiple times. Yeah. Where like I don't know if it's you shift through it spiritually, you feel the enlightened wisdom, right? Mentally and emotionally, but then the body I feel like needs to do that integration too, right? Sometimes and it's like, whoa, right? And just really just allowing that physical space to I feel like the body needs the that unconditional loving supportive space too, right? To break through, to move through, you know um
Mm,
yeah, I feel the real divine feminine presence when that is happening, many
mm,
times, right? And it's sometimes just it's such a deep surrender.
yeah,
Ah, but then it's that breath of fresh air that we were just talking about, like the
yeah.
breakthroughs, and trusting in her wisdom, really trusting in it.
And I feel like sometimes I've been talking about the heavy, like the physical matter of the body, but I honestly feel that the human mind, I'm talking about the ego mind here, not the higher mind, but the human mind is the part that needs that breath of fresh air. I feel like your body, it's almost like a loyal animal, has a lot more of an understanding of what's going on. And the ego mind has all its limitations and its think, 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 and its control. And so there's something about the body will guide, and sometimes it will do it through pain or through the ability to say to you, like tell you you must rest, and you've got, some condition or something, you're just exhausted. The body will kind of be that flick of the switch to get us out of that, which can be a heaviness, the concept of the mind of not understanding what's going on or being out in the future or being in the past. This is the thing. The body is always here and it's now. It's
Mhm.
always present. And we're
Oh,
here up in the higher bits in our mind and in confusion. And so if you can bring your awareness to the now and touch your body, a lot of spiritual practices about touch the heart, or if you're doing your own whatever, some sort of exercise or something with the body, but do it with a presence of the body. And I feel like you could be out there doing all the exercise in the world and still be in your head. Do you know what I mean? There's a tendency for humans to be in the head and not in the body. And I think that's what the goddess does, is sort of teases you out, draws you out, and then like with a big ocean wave of energy, sometimes flops you right out and says, stop getting in the head and be in here. I am here and it is now. It's such a powerful
yes.
healing
Yeah.
tool. Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know I go there all the time.
Right?
I'm gonna be so vulnerable. And I'll be like, I know that's sort of like I know it, right? But I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
and maybe you said that's that push-pull energy or the yeah. And it's like, wait a sec. And then I go in and it's like, oh, you gotta tune into the heart, right? And the
Yeah.
body, you're right, the body wisdom is, it's so supportive.
Mm.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. And we have to move through that. I think, we need to be more gentle with ourselves through those
Mm.
times and lean in more, right?
Yeah.
Ground ourselves more maybe. And
Yeah.
it's
It's
just
almost it's almost like we're conditioned, and I think it comes through that sense of separation, which is what happens when humans incarnate, that there can be that confusion of separation from the divine. Then it's a sense of, am I alone here? Like, what's it all about? And so there's an attitude of, I think, almost, and I've even had this myself, even having had the spiritual journey my whole life, of not really wanting to connect in different ways through the body. And that manifests for me in certain things with my legs and feet, that somehow being here, I know I'm supposed to be here. I don't want to get away or blip away, but accepting the physical body and its connection to earth for the soul can be a little bit, well, it is a challenge, and probably it is in many ways for everyone, whether it's about they think they don't look good on the outside or there's stuff going on the inside. It all comes down to almost like a sort of a rejection of the self in that
mm,
sense. And that's what I believe causes so many of the problems on earth, that people are rejecting their own inner self and
oh
then
yeah.
projecting that out to others. And it's just waves of that. So to me, that goddess energy, what you said, sometimes you're in and sometimes you're out. But I feel like once you invite them in, their energy is always there for you, and they will come through in unexpected ways, and like with the signs, or just with different kind of almost humor and a little bit, we've talked about this before too. I say they come in with a very strong energy and they can kind of mess stuff up in your world. They can kind of disrupt things, but it's with a
Yes.
loving energy and
Yeah.
humor that sort of says, stop getting so serious, come into the body, be with us, and be with the beauty of the heart and the enlightened wisdom of the body, because that's kind of where we're going with humans. We want to marry the two. We don't want to get away from the body or get away from the mind or cut out our ego. We want this radical self-acceptance, all the darkness, all the light, the good, the bad, the ugly. We want to bring it all together into one energy, and then it becomes something new.
Yes, I know. I'm reflecting off of your how many times, like I love the enlightened wisdom. I'll use the goddess Tara. I mean, she's just like that divine. I just love calling on her, and just her enlightened wisdom. And how many times I think I've made a mistake, or I've made the wrong choice, or I've chosen something, and then it doesn't turn out, like right how it's supposed to be, and then my body's going through pain because of it. Nothing like super negative, but just like we're moving through the grief or that radical acceptance. But it is, going in then and being like, oh my gosh, she's moving me. Like, I don't think I could ever make a mistake. Like, I trust her wisdom so much. So I'm learning to lean into that more, right? And shed that old space.
Yeah.
Oh, I really feel that, maybe that's more the purity coming through. And but I love, I think, how supremely protected the goddess is for us.
Mm.
And then to remember that, like, absolutely no, like, I know there's an unconditional loving space in our growth. And, many times I think, I'm not really getting an answer. I think I'm going to do this. I want to do this. I think it's my heart that wants to do this. And, sometimes it's like, woo, and it's great. But then sometimes it's like, why did I go down that path?
Mhm.
But then it's like, oh, right. So that's where I really trust
Mm.
and create that profound benefit. And I'm like, I just know that, I don't know if that's that awakening of our own inner priestess within ourselves too.
Mm.
Like, she's just pure wisdom.
Mm. And when you
she's
were saying,
I
go
don't
ahead.
know. I was gonna say, I can't really tell you this. I want to tell you this story really funny because yesterday I went to get a passport photo. I need a new photo,
Yeah.
and you can't smile.
Yeah, yeah,
So I'm sitting there and I'm not smiling. And she's like, "You're still smiling."
yeah.
I'm not smiling. She was, "You're still smiling." And I really was trying to think of something that would piss me off so much not to smile. And she still said I was smiling. And I'm like, I think she's seeing something through the lens because I am not smiling. I'm like, it was just really sweet. I don't know if it's like, is that just flow? I don't know what it was. I'm reflecting off of that because it was like, maybe we're, just that radiant space of,
Yeah.
oh, such beautiful wisdom for our world, right? When we do this work, I don't know. And I look like a criminal in this photo. It's horrible, but
But the energy, and that's what it is. It's about integrating the energy, and people notice it because we are frequency. So as you say,
is it
so
the
a couple
body
of
that's,
things.
what is
And I wanted to say what you're talking about too, no mistakes, where you say to yourself, oh, does this mean that it's wrong when it doesn't work or the body is in pain? And then you say, of course, you go into the goddess and they're like, no, because there are no mistakes. It's all accumulated wisdom. And I know from my perspective, and I'm sure that when you go down a path, it wasn't the one you expected, you always glean something from that. Even if it's something you think is unpleasant, there's no such thing as, whoops, oh, sorry,
no,
the universe says
no,
you missed out. Everything is an opportunity for
it is.
growth. And
Yeah.
sometimes the path we're on will always, for me, it's a spiral path. It's not just linear. So it's about going out and collecting another part of what you're doing or collecting some energy and then integrating it. And I just honestly don't believe that there are mistakes or that we should have, could have, would have done it better. We keep going on the path we're on and we create something from that. And as
Mhm.
you say, that's how the goddess helps. And it's the personal. I just want to ask you the personal connection to Tara, because we know everyone will know about goddess Tara. There's so many goddesses, goddess Isis. But how do you feel the personal connection apart from just knowing of the goddess and perhaps knowing her invocation? How do you find the personal connection assists you in your world?
Oh, with Tara. Well, I like, she's just is my, I just feel her like the divine mother, but sometimes she is Isis, right? Sometimes I honestly don't really know who I need. And
Mm-hmm.
I just love Tara, calling for Tara on that one. Um, yeah, maybe it's just someone I love to, connect to, but
Yeah.
because sometimes I really don't know who I need,
Yeah.
and I mean, the universe is there anyway, but I just feel like she's in ourselves. She's just part of us. She's with our earth.
Mm.
Yeah, oh, she's just our profound grace. And you know what? I really love trusting her because, with her statue, especially green Tara, right? With her 1 foot in front, like in her eyes, with white Tara, like she just always sees one step in front of us. And I really trust her to
Mm.
guide me. That's why I call on Tara a lot. But
Mm. I think that's the radical acceptance too, for you to trust, a divine being. And so many of us do. We
yeah,
trust them without, but we have more proof than you would ever proof, like the most positive proof of it. And I think that I wanted to say, with Tara, like when to anyone listening too, and Karen has that connection, and there's different goddesses where you can hear as Karen's speaking, like the love and the energy of her connection to Tara. And I know myself when I do any Tara mudra, I just feel electric energy go through my body, especially
Mhm.
the the Tara hooks. But so I just wanted to say to anyone listening too, your goddess journey is personal. So look through the books and look there. But when you start to find one that you can feel the alignment, it'll be a past life thing or a particular connection to that being in some way. And so follow the threads that work for you. If it's Shakti, if it's Goddess Freya, like whomever, whichever goddess it is from whichever mythology or lineage of teaching. It doesn't
Mhm.
matter what you have learned in this life or if you're not a Buddhist, but it'll be a particular few goddesses possibly who will come to you. And the more that you personalize your relationship with spirit and you ask them for, confirmation, as Karen said, she doesn't always know who she wants, but you ask for help with an understanding like a child would ask a parent they know they can trust 100%. You ask for help and then you wait to receive because you know it will be coming in some form or the other. And it's a bit like the goddess energy is that fierce love that will protect you. And when you put yourself under that, the auspices of that energy, you can trust. And then you can let your human mind, with its gibberish, just say, we're trusting and we're dropping into the heart. So that's the beauty of that.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Mm.
Can I ask you about the heart? We said at the beginning, I had an idea. I said, like, the heart, is my altar. Like, what would you say about using and working with the energy of your heart in your spiritual practice, in your daily life? How does it support you?
Oh my gosh. What a vast question.
Another episode coming now.
Oh my God. Oh my goodness. You're specifically talking about my own heart, like that. Oh, my heart. I don't know. I feel like it's a temple to love humanity, like I always have.
Mhm.
And yeah, I'm just wondering. I used to like not understand that, that space, right? When you're younger and you're still trying to figure out your sensitivity and why, why would I do that?
What, all of them?
I have to laugh at that because really, that was really weird. It was telling me what to do. I couldn't explain it. Um, it is. I just love it. I just feel it's my temple. Like it's just so sacred, and I do. I just feel it. I am my own beloved in
Mm.
my heart, and like for example, with that beautiful lady who's taking my picture of the passports, like I loved her. I just loved her. And I don't know. The heart, it's just so much. I see it like following the Alabic Road. I just,
Yeah.
you just keep singing with it and leaning into it and honoring it. There's a
Mm.
lot of wisdom in there, right? And it's
Mm.
not always easy to open up to, you know.
Yeah. What do you do when there's the times when you want to be open, but life is giving you challenges and you feel it's hard to keep it open? What do you do for your heart? Do you just go through the process, or is there something that you honor the process of the wanting to shut down and protect, but you keep opening up?
Yeah.
Can you speak on that?
Yeah, like there's a lot of, when I'm going through really big stuff,
Mm.
big changes, which I am going through.
Mm.
um I have to seek refuge in my heart. I feel like that's where I go.
Mm.
um Especially in times of fear and doubt and worry, and um yeah, I feel like I just seek the sanctuary in my heart, and I just have to honor it and let
Mm.
go as much as I can. I'm so grateful for all the tools, the oracle decks or
Mm.
the healing. um but I find like I just instantly want to do to seek refuge
Mm.
is where I go when it comes deep into that space, and remember that I can trust and keep my heart open. And yeah,
Yeah.
I need that, like we all do,
Yeah.
and mhm.
Would you say that that's what happens, that when you take the actions to actually consciously connect with the heart, no matter what is going on, this part of you inside, just this pulse just says, it's okay. Like it's okay, no matter what you're seeing out there. And it's an energy that encourages you almost, as you said, seek refuge. That you, if you actually listen to the heart, the message you will get is of support.
Yeah. Yeah. Like something inside of my body will always say, I know it's going to be okay.
Hmm.
But, maybe it's just the energies around that are consuming
Hmm.
you or you're moving through. And I know like a lot of it is so ancestral, right? It's that, or I mean, for me, it is anyway, but for many, maybe. And just, yeah, the encouragement that's there to recognize.
Mm.
Um, that's just profound work. Like it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of prayer, lots of prayer.
This is it. It takes prayer, it takes application.
Yep. Like, yep. Just,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
And
just,
something about that energy, and I just, just because I feel your energy, and I'm sure people listening can as well, that it's like the more that you put yourself into that heart space and you connect with goddess energies, the more you are able to be that vessel where you can accept what's happening and you process the negative, but you do still have a love for humanity, a love for all. And I think that
yeah.
the goddess, because you think about goddess, especially in the Hindu traditions, that they're very much dealing with, they will actually upfront call it evil. They're dealing with demons and evil, which is a parable for other things. But at the same time, the goddess energy is willing to agree that there are certain things that are completely not acceptable,
Mhm.
and they will fight that for love, that they will fight the thing that is wrong. They will not give up. They will not be cowed down. They will not be cast out or pushed out or anything. They will
Mhm.
fight for love and for freedom for all beings, and they want
Yeah.
you to be free. They want to free us all from the enslavement of not only what's going on in different control systems, but the enslavement of our own human mind that is built into those control systems. But the soul and the heart, that this is why we're given this gift of heart and mind, because it's that you said push pull. It's like we have to understand that the reality is the within, that we're a universe within, that all of this is like is constructs and is part of that process. But the real thing, people say, oh, don't think with your heart, think with your head. Oh, it's completely the opposite. The head can often lead you astray, and that's to be able to trust. And I think that's the great paradox in a way of
Yeah.
being able to think with the heart and act and speak with the heart. And it's
Yeah.
hard to measure, right? It's hard to measure why you feel. And I'm exactly on the page with you. No matter what's going on, if I drop in that space, I get the message and the sensation of everything is going to be okay. And I genuinely know that.
Yeah. I know. It's
But
like
it
a,
seems, yeah.
yeah.
So, I mean, you're a teacher too. Like you work with people, and what do you find is a sort of a recurring theme of people coming? Could you describe maybe like someone's goddess experience, or is there something you would say about some of your students about how you see them witness the heart, just so we can encourage people with sort of stories, anything that perhaps may come to mind
Oh,
from you?
yeah, you know what could I think of? Not like not into personal, but
No.
um, I've seen a lot of growth in
Mm.
many, that have taken some of my retreats, like through Saraswati healing, and where I've seen their, like one in particular, and she's also a good friend of mine, but her creative abundance space
Hmm.
is so profound to see. Like she's a photographer,
Hmm.
so I could share that, and just the struggles of where to find a job, right? And the financial support, yet her heart is nature and photography, and like I'm just watching her, and it is profound, her trust. And she's just traveled back from Africa. She got a free trip there, and the pictures, the photography she took, and it's just in her in out in like it's just amazing. And the photographers that are commenting on her photos, and just trusting in, like I just see her moving, trusting in even the abundant space of paying for more expensive canvases to be sold at big art shows, and people are buying her artwork. Like I love seeing that. And she chose that, like it's just part of her growth, and
Mhm.
how the universe is supporting her. And yeah, I like, do we talk about inspiration? I know you were talking about that,
I don't
like
think
the,
we've touched on that yet, but
oh, we
yes.
haven't. I thought maybe we, oh, sorry, but yeah,
No,
like
good. This is
especially
it.
such an inspiring space for our world. I really feel a lot of inspiration coming through. And
Mm.
yeah, it's just I see so many. I love that reflection space. And even for myself too, like how we all sing, how we all grow,
Yeah.
when we come together, when we, and the people that come, like it's just so supportive. And it's like the earth calls them, the heart calls
Yes.
them, more than, your social media and that, even though that is beneficial. Like it's such a beautiful wisdom,
Mm.
and yeah, I just thought I would touch on that beautiful. I love like I love seeing that, and it's just her moving through what she needs to, and
Yeah.
oh, I love that. I just yeah, it's just joy.
And I think
And
that's
joy for all
reframing.
aspects, yeah.
I think it's reframing the way we are as thinking about success in society, because it is like if you follow your heart, it is
Mhm.
important to follow your heart and do things you care about. And then there can be timing where the divine will just come in. You said she gets the free trip to Africa and she's
Oh,
worked with you, so there's goddess energy. So it is about following your heart, doing things that matter to you. And then
yeah.
that kind of opens a gateway for the divine to start connecting to you and wanting to help you. They say that Lakshmi, goddess Lakshmi, wants to help people who work in the healing or the arts, which are not necessarily traditionally full of income for those people. It can be difficult. She wants to help creatives and artists and healers earn income so they can keep doing more of what they do. So the universe does want to support us, but they also want us to take off our blinders of what we think success is and
Yes.
allow ourselves to be guided to opportunities and things that would come from out of the blue. And that's what has happened for me in different times in my life. I never could plan the things that have happened that have been the most amazing gifts. It's simply like a divine timing where the universe says, you need this now, and here it is. And it's
Mhm.
about the willingness, I think, to, still keep following the heart and connecting to what moves you as much as you can in your life. And that's when these divine blessings come. And at the same time, they also help you through the darker times. So I love you sharing that story, because it is like if she wants to do that and she needs to be, the universe will use you and put you where you need to be and bring you together with the people who can support you. And I think more and more now we're starting to create this on earth where it's less of the struggle. Well, there's so much struggle, but I mean, we're getting through artists and creators, we're getting voices heard, and we're starting to build communities of light across the globe, which is
Yes,
really powerful, of people who are being their authentic truth and sharing beauty or truth in some way that matters. And that to me is goddess energy.
it is. It's a beautiful essence, right? Yeah. Yeah,
Mm.
it's just profound. Yeah.
Mm. So
Yeah.
it's like if you listen to the mythology, you feel like you want some goddess energy. They overcome all difficulties, all obstacles, that there's a real teaching there of the feminine wisdom that says timing is everything. It connects to the cycles of nature. We're so divorced from nature in society, and it causes so many problems that there are sort of simple things that we can do to connect back. Even just if you do personal work to connect back to earth and to do these sort of practices and just have a care, that does build the energy. And I build the believe the goddess energy helps to connect us all, for
Yeah.
that simple matter of caring for earth and then caring for each other. As you say, the love of all of humanity, it is possible. It is what the goddess feels for all of us. And so the more that we can tap into those energies, channel and transmit them for others and ourselves, the more we are helping this ascension energy, which is essentially alignment of human and soul into creating a better world, not the fight between light and dark.
No, yeah, I know. It's beautiful. I know. And I want to touch on Lakshmi really quick because I love that you talked about her, and maybe this is for anyone that's listening, but I'm using her myself,
Mhm.
going through my separation, and that fear of lack, the fear of the control, through that space of the finances, everything.
Mm.
That's so logical and
Yeah.
paradigm and all that stuff. And it's like I call in Lakshmi for that, for the
Yeah.
support for all of us, that benefits. I want her to take the lead for me and show me the way that benefits that profound space that heals both and our world, right? That it's not a no one's going to receive,
Mm.
I just have to really trust in her wisdom, how everything unfolds. And so like and that's an emanation of Tara for me too, right? But just, I just love that. I need that benevolent space to really trust in something so unlogical
Mhm.
that that can create that space, that's so that wisdom of our body through that too, right? I want to radiate that in this world.
And
So
you do. You do.
so, I do. And her beauty and her grace, sure.
But
Yeah,
it's
I just
about being
that
willing to the higher
work.
outcome for all. You're talking about a separation that
Oh,
affects
yes.
lots of people. But it's like when we can personally connect for, to spirit, to goddess energy, our heart, we're asking for the highest outcome for everyone. And that's that win-win energy that the goddess brings. It really is about wanting everyone to get out of that feeling of scarcity and to trust that the universe knows what we need and it will provide. And sometimes, if it provides a challenge, I think if you could drop into your heart, you'd have to admit it's more of a challenge to your mind than it is to your heart.
Yeah. One thing I find with the body wisdom too, with the goddess, like for an example, Lakshmi, I find to like let spirit lead me.
Mm,
But no matter, the advice of all the people that you get around you,
mm.
I just try to I trust more like Lakshmi or Tara, the goddess, to take the lead for me
Yep.
over anyone else's advice,
Yep.
anyone else's suggestions or advice. And I love all of that. But
Yep.
I find like my path might be different, and my heart might be different. Well, our hearts are connected, but you know what I mean? Our paths, our destinies, they're so they're just so, I don't know how else to explain it. I want to call it ecstatic bliss, but it's not always the same. So I trust more of that than anything else.
Yeah.
And that's kind of hard to get deep into sometimes, but that's, I just find it to be such profound wisdom. That's the heart too, which I find, right? And there's your enlightenment. I find that there's your divine mother holding you, or the goddess just
Yeah.
loving all sentient beings through their own voice, of course, right? No voice is wrong. But that's what I really love to lean on, with the
Yeah.
goddess. Yeah.
And that's really, I think there's always going to be a point on the path where you do have to rely, and maybe several points, you have to rely more on spirit than on everything out there and on your thinking mind. You just have to, because the rest of that doesn't actually mean anything at the end of the
Yeah.
day. And we want to allow spirit to work through us. And if that seems scary, you start in small ways, but there's never going to be a situation where you can ultimately allow someone else's opinion to make the decision for you. It has to come from within you, or it has
Yes.
to be something where you're moved by the divine. There are certain circumstances that happen, and you can have an understanding, even no matter how discomforting, you're meant to be there. That is the divine helping you. And so I love that you say that you have to, at different times, accept the beauty of all the opinions, but there'll always come a point where you have to make the decision yourself, or
Yes.
otherwise.
Or the divine timing of it, right?
Mm,
That perfect solution for you when you're ready for it.
mm.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I think the goddess will help you with that when you're in the, divine waiting room where you can't push forward anymore. You can't really go back to who you were or what you were doing. I believe the goddess helps you in those times too. Like they have the ability to be also focused on, practical things. They might help you, what it mean, go and clear out that space or something, that they'll come through, they'll knock books off your shelf. This is my experience of them, that they'll help you with practicalities while you sort of transform and heal, and they will give you the energy that you need too to accept what's happening and
Yeah.
to wait for the timing, because you cannot rush divine timing. All you'll do is like come up against a sharp object, metaphorically, and get your feathers all ruffled. So it's the acceptance that they have. And it is something about, they love you so much. It's like a parent who loves you unconditionally, that energy. They love you, they want support and success for you. They won't take away difficulties if they know it's going to help you with your growth. But as you say, when you go to Lakshmi or Tara, will they help you through it? Yes, they will. Will they take your hand? Yes, they will. Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I
I
know.
know you, and I know all the times you've had issues in your life and you call on that divine support for you or for those around you. And then miraculous happenings, the stories that you have told me about when you let go for the divine and you become a vessel. So we know this is real. It's being a vessel for the divine for you and for others. And if you love the goddess, she loves
Yeah.
you. She loves all of
All,
us.
all parts of it. That's where I feel like Freya steps in. She's our boldness and our courage. And it's like, no one's telling me what to do. I'm not taming my soul. Yeah. But we have to go in those dark spaces and move through it. But
Yep.
when we come out of it,
Yep.
oh, It's
And
like,
all the goddess stories talk about darkness or repression or betrayal or the most worst,
mm,
awful thing. And all of them have a rising and a glorious, ending. And so it really is about, again, I want to say you talked about the facets a few times, and this is very true of divine energy. The goddess will come with all different energies. And sometimes you don't know which being or facet she is, but you feel her move you. You know it's goddess energy. And it's
you
enough to
do.
just say thank you. You don't have to know which one. And sometimes you invoke a particular one. And sometimes, as you said before, you don't know what you need. You just know you need it. And so you let go and you see which energy presents itself. And if this is a beginner's thing for you, and we're talking like this, it doesn't matter. It's what your heart says and what you believe. And so if you just start to give yourself permission to connect with goddess stories or mythology or cards, they will come and they will be with you. And as I say, they will always take your hand and they will help you through any suffering. They won't take it away, but they will give you a window or a way out that you couldn't have seen without divine intervention. And we're supposed to ask for divine intervention and receive it. It's not weakness to ask for help from the divine. And you're not taking away that help from another being.
No. And you could ask a million times a day.
And sometimes I do.
Absolutely.
Well,
Yeah.
we'll end here. I just want to talk about, we're on the video, you won't see otherwise, but Karen has a beautiful picture of the goddess Sarasvati with her in her
Oh,
healing space. And so I wanted to bring through a bit about Sarasvati, just the goddess of, and you said creation, and she's also the goddess of voice and music. And so it's something about calling on the goddess and invoking the divine to be with you, and then letting go and trusting. So again, you want to open and be open to these, fine frequency spiritual energies, and then let go and await something in your life to bring you a sign from them. So Karen, is there anything you'd like to say about the energy? I know we've worked in the program Sarasvati Healing together, and I
yeah.
know you offer her a lot. And in fact, you dedicated a beautiful garden to her once. And is there something you want to say about this goddess energy and the vocalization and the creation before we
Yeah.
close for today?
I was going to share this. I'm glad that you said that. So she's singing with us. Yes, a few years ago, I wanted to do a dedication. It was a creative offering through the Saraswati healing training that we did, right, with Alana Fairchild. And I wanted to use all of my gardens in my home, like in my yard, and plant, abundant flowers. I planted roses, I planted peonies, and my intention was when they grow that I would use these flowers as altars for, that kind of was my intention. This is where I love the goddess and Saraswati for this, right? And I had a fairly good, it takes a little while for perennials to grow, I enjoyed my garden that year, and I kind of wondered like what would come from that, the integrations, like, there is divine timing with Saraswati, and so the next year, most of those plants actually died.
Mhm.
Oh, this story's so good, and I was like, oh, okay, so I was just trusting in that space, and I knew I was still worthy of something, whatever this offering was, and it wasn't until the next year, so what, 2 years later, right? This offering that I made to Saraswati, um, I had finally separated from my husband, and I love my front deck. I put flowers all out there. It's my space to connect and to meditate, especially when I can be outdoors in the spring and the summer. And last year was quite a hard year,
Mhm.
and I had no urge to be in my garden, which is what I love. But the most abundant, beautiful gardens grew with weeds, and because I didn't want to be in my gardens, like, just I had the most magnificent butterflies all over the place, and I just let everything grow wild.
Mhm.
And I felt Sarasvati, I felt the offering,
Yeah.
I felt the space. So it was something in the heart of like, oh, it's all about the doing. And I saw so much gorgeous beauty in that, and aliveness, and untaming.
Right?
not not caring, and it was beautiful. It
Mm.
didn't have to be so perfect, and
Yep.
oh my god, but it took 2 years, but
Hmm.
I finally seen that beautiful space in the heart with her, and I felt so supported through that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, her sound, her essence, you just feel it within, and yeah, I actually found it very beautiful. Maybe it's
And
all
then
for myself too, right? But it was just like, ah, yeah, it was gorgeous. Hmm.
there's something about that, as you said, the divine timing. You make your offering or you do your work, if you're doing some sort of creative project or spiritual work, and it might seem that there's no result happening. And this is what the goddess has, that you have to wait for the natural cycles or the spiritual life cycles of whatever you're trying to birth to come online. And so there's that slight humor of the chaos energy of weeds and the beauty and everything. So you said before, I wanted to sort of end with that. It's not about perfection. It's
Hmm.
about being with the chaos and the change and the creation. Think about how nature works and the cycles of, divine timing, and trusting that what you plant your seeds, how you plant your seeds, the result is going to be above and beyond what you can imagine. And you need to go on the ride with that and trust. And there's something exciting and terrifying about that, but it really is a powerful demonstration of the process Karen was on, the photos she had of this amazing garden and all the nature, the butterflies, everything coming in totally unplanned from how it was supposed to be, and yet perfect timing for you in
Oh,
your life.
so beautiful. Yeah, yeah. Hmm.
You cannot mess up the timing. This is the thing.
Yeah.
So goddess energy, enjoy working with it. It's a beautiful space to be in. There's so many pathways you can take, but what I always say to everyone is allow it to personalize for you. Ask for messages for you, and they will start to connect with you in your heart regardless of what you read or hear. Find a teacher or a book that opens the gateway, and they will come flooding in. They will flood
Mhm.
in. They're already here with all of us. That's the thing. Think about the body as the goddess energies. So
Mhm.
thank you, Karen. Oh my gosh, it was just
Thank
beautiful.
you so much. I love when we get to sing across the world.
Sending the frequency of love between hearts. And thank you for sharing, your goddess wisdom, and also just as I say, your energy and your joy for people to hear. And Karen has had a lot of challenges in her life, and she comes through them with this grace. She still believes in beauty no matter what happens. And I think there are many of you out there who feel that way. So I feel that way too. I want to encourage you, hold on to the beauty you feel within. What you feel within can grow and come out into the world, and don't allow the world to dim your light. Trust in your inner goddess no matter what sexual identity you have. We all have the goddess energy within. We can connect to earth and each other, and we will triumph over any difficulty.
Oh, yes.
All right, well, that's an episode. And for now, I'm going to say goodbye to Karen, and just so much love to all of you for listening, and hope that you feel this encouragement on your path to reach out to goddess energies, to pray or to create an altar, and keep it simple. It doesn't need to be complicated, but it will always be beautiful when it is authentically you.
Mm.
Thank you so
Mm.
much, Karen. Okay,
Thank you.
namaste, everyone. Bye.